excuse my cussing, but it's going to happen. What the fuck is human design and why should you care? I'm Laura of Radiant Aura Coaching. I'm so excited to share with you all about the human design system, what it has brought into my life, what it is, why it's applicable to every human being on the planet, and what it can help you with. So first off, let me really introduce myself and the lens that I see and experience human design and life through. So again, I'm Laura. I am what is called a quad right 4/6 splenic projector. I am designed to see the other. So the way that my aura works and what we're going to cover in a little bit is the different types of energy auras that all human beings have. There are 4 different types. I am a projector type, and I have an inner authority that is my spleen. So I'm a very intuitive, instinctual, moment to moment, spontaneous, awareness driven person. I'm also a 4/6, which is very much an interesting archetype to have, in that I love to be with people and also need a lot of time alone. Everybody has different combinations of all of these different aspects. And it really helps you to understand everybody's deep uniqueness. So I've been actively experimenting with human design, with my strategy and authority for a little over 2 years. It was introduced to me at random when somebody said, "I think you're a projector." And I said, excuse me, that was rude. And then I started diving into it at that moment, very curious, wanted to figure out myself at a whole new level and validate my very strangely lived experience. I am a projector. We're about 20% of the population. So I'd always known that I was different. I didn't know how incredibly different I actually am. And it's helped me really see how different every human being on this planet is. So I have found more and more validation and success within my experiment as I decondition from other people's energy and start to really embody my own design, understand more about myself. And I've been deep in self-study since I learned about it 2 years ago in 2019. So as with everything, I am very scientifically minded. I have a bachelor's of science in psychology. It's how I've been taught to look at life in a prove it, yeah, right, prove it type of way. So that is definitely how I come at the human design system. And I have yet to find like the holes in it. And it just keeps proving its worth over and over again. And through this lens, through this experimenting, I really have found my calling with helping others to remember who they are and how to guide themselves and understand each other through this lens of human design. So, a few disclaimers before we really get going about what design is. So you're already living your design. There have been moments throughout your life that design will validate, like you really are already living your design. Understanding the details of it can be extremely helpful. There is a lot of information in your chart. It is as detailed as your human life. I've been studying for 2 years and I still feel like I'm at the tip of the iceberg. And I study a lot, like a lot. So there's a lot of information. You don't need to know all of it. There are really only 2 pieces that you need to know, but having the awareness of all of it, or as much as you can take, or whatever you're curious about, is really fun and really helpful in some areas of life. I've found it to be quite a life hack. So some of it may resonate, some may not. If the system is for you, take what works, leave the rest. If the system is not for you and you find yourself feeling more anxious because of this information, you don't need it. It really is meant to find you when it comes to you. So if it's finding you now, I'm here for you. So human design is not a belief system. Numero uno, it does not have a dogma. It is pure energy mechanics. It is a system of energy mechanics. It's a blueprint. It's a manual for how to use your energy and for the most aligned life possible. It's a cheat sheet. Doesn't need to be taken too seriously. No belief system. And all of this information is free to you out there in the world. All of it. I'm going to share with you where you can find some of it. And then if you need help interpreting it, if you want to see yourself through other people's lenses, because again, everybody's different, there are ways for you to find people to help you understand it at a deeper level. And I'll share all of that with you at the end. And maybe one of the most important parts, lastly, we're never just our own energy, ever. You're never just yourself. Though you are absurdly unique individuals, every single person is absurdly unique. We're always getting downloads of energy from space, from the planets. We're always in somebody else's aura, typically, especially with social media. The house that you live in and how many roommates or family members that you're around, who you talk to on the phone, you're interacting with other people's energy more often than not with nearly 8 billion people on the planet. So really understanding your base blueprint, your baseline self can illuminate, bring awareness to how your energy shifts around other people, understanding what's yours, what's not yours, helps you really take the pressure off of life. So those are my disclaimers. So what the fuck is the human design system? So this is a system that's made up of the synthesis of 5 other systems or tools. Most of them you've heard of, some of them you may not. So we have traditionally Western astrology, though some people do use sidereal, the Chinese I Ching, the Hindu Brahmin chakra system, the Kabbalah tree of life, and quantum physics. And the synthesis of these systems, which created the human design system, was delivered in a mystic experience by The Voice to Ra Uru Hu in 1987. So this system, the synthesis of all of these other tools and how they work together and create auras and our energy blueprints, is relatively young. It's a year older than I am. It's 34 years old, you know, relatively young still, but being explored by more and more people. The design, the human design world is growing rapidly, and that is due in part to something I'll share with you in a little bit. But 1987, the synthesis was delivered by The Voice in a mystic experience to Ra Uru Hu. And this creates the synthesis of these systems, create the body graph. Every human being has a body graph, and that is pictured right here on the right. That is my body graph. So that's my energetic blueprint. And it's based on the moment you were born and then 3 months before you were born. And quantum physics brings all of this energy together in our being and gives us a blueprint of how our individual self works. So every number, every color, every line, every center and arrow in this chart carries an energetic frequency and mechanical function to it. We're not going to deep dive into what all of that means, because once again, it is as detailed as a human life, which is endless. And so the number one thing I want to share is we all carry the potential of all energy. Again, we're never just our own energy, though we can map it. We all have the potential of all energy. That is what I consider, through my lens, our divine energy, how we're all the same, and the illusion of separation is really running rampant right now. It's been forever, but we're all the same baseline energy. But what makes us unique is different parts of each individual are activated, and that creates our differentiation. And human design is the science of how we're all differentiated. So that differentiation creates different aura types depending on the activations that you have. So there are 4 aura types, and these are the words that you're going to hear the most often. Kind of how, you know, people throw around like, oh, I'm an Aries, oh, I'm a Capricorn. It's very much like the overarching like baseline thing about like label of human design. So 4 types. The first we're going to talk about is the most common, which is about 70% of the population, are generator types. And generators are noted by their sacral definition, which is a very powerful motor in the being. If you have sacral definition, you are immediately a generator type. And there are 2 different types of generators. There's a subtype in there. So you have generators, which Jamie is a generator. And then there are manifesting generators. And those are people who have the connection of a motor to their throat and sacral definition. So about half of generators are manifesting generators, and then half are generators. Generators are going to be the people who really master their work. These are people who love to work. Like really, you find that satisfying. You wake up with this battery pack of energy every day in your sacral motor, and you need to use it and let it guide you through life. And that helps you respond to life that comes to you with your enveloping aura. So generators have this enveloping aura that brings life to you. And when life comes to you, you respond by listening to your sacral energy, which is like a yes or no. And some people have other authorities in there, but for a generator, you have this sacral energy that's like a yes, this satisfies me energy, or I don't have energy for that. My battery's empty. So that's a rough outline of a generator type. And then we have the projector type, which is what I am. So projectors make up about 20% of the population. And this is a signature of having no definition in your sacral. You might have an activation of a gate, which is one of those numbers, or it might be completely open, which means projectors aren't here to really expend energy too often. We're here to take other people's energy in and be able to really feel that and then understand it, because it's literally like coming into us through our penetrating and absorbing aura. I'm getting excited. Our penetrating and absorbing aura, when we connect to somebody, we really do like zoom in, and then we can bring in their energy through us and then guide that energy by understanding it because it's in our being as well. So this is a design of being very sensitive to the other's energy. For me, it was extremely validating to find out what being a projector meant. I deeply understand why I only have like a certain amount of energy most days, and why I get tired and why I need a lot of rest and play. It's because I don't have a sacral definition, so I don't have constant access to this motor. That's why I connect to people like Jamie and other generator types and like to deeply understand my own energy and how their energy is going to impact my being when I do connect to them, because I'm always taking in other people's energy. If I'm connected to you, I'm going to take in your energy. All projector types. So we're a type that really needs good energy maintenance, a lot of rest, a lot of play, and we're people who like to study. Like we're really meant to guide energy based on what we've studied about. And the way that works is by following our strategy, which is waiting for the invitation. So waiting for recognition and invitation is essential for a projector. And that's what I've been experimenting with over the last couple of years now, is allowing myself to rest, to sit back, and then allowing people to call and invite me and recognize me to participate in their energy and to help guide them so that I'm heard. A lot of projectors might feel like they're not heard too often, or they might feel this bitterness, which is pretty intense, about other people not taking their advice, mostly because it was probably unsolicited. We really do honor our own energy when we wait for the invitation. So then we're going to talk about manifestors. And manifestation, manifestor is a buzzword in the healing community right now. But in human design, manifestor does not mean what you think it means. It is about, so manifestor types are about 9% of the population, and they also have an open and undefined sacral center, but no connection of, or a direct connection of energy to their throat. So that means that they're able to manifest their energy out of their being through their voice quickly. That's what being a manifestor is in human design. It means expending your, like getting your energy up and out of you very quickly. And so these are people who are built to create and lead. And most of us in this world, in capitalistic, like modern day, are conditioned to be manifestors. Moreover, manifesting generators, because we're meant to like, well, create what you're thinking of right away, push it out of you, make it, do it, when really only 9% of the population are actually built to function that way. And so thinking about that, almost 90% of people are conditioned to feel like this. And then the mental pressure and anxiety that that creates, and not being able to do something because your energy literally wasn't built to do it that way. And being able to like flip that script and be like, oh, I get to honor my energy and do what works for me and be aligned with myself. But for these 9% manifestor types, freaking love manifestor types. They're so cool. I think they're some of the coolest people. They're people who really build, or they don't build. They create and initiate and lead. They tell you the idea that they've had that was delivered from like source itself. And they have this dense and protective aura to protect their energy and the energy that they require to create. They are really here to be the spark, the initiator, and then hand it off to the generators and projectors and other types, and function as like the leader. Like the founder of human design, Ra-Uru, was an ego manifestor, and he very much was living his design of, here's the spark, here's the thing, pass it off, pass it around. I'm going to go back to creating, leading, and channeling, and be in my protective aura and do my thing. So these are the people who are very much meant to just do their thing, and the people that are for them will come to them and get on board their train, and their aura really helps them cut through anything that's in front of them. They're able to go 0 to 100 really quick. And then when they're like over that thing and they don't have energy for it anymore, then the generator steps forward and they're like, oh yeah, this is so satisfying to keep building this. And the projector looks at it and goes, ooh, this is how this could be more efficient. I can tell how this energy can be used better. And then we have the reflector. And a reflector is about 1% of the population, very rare unicorns. I'm fortunate enough to know like a couple reflectors, which I think are just such cool people. They have no definition in their being. So all of their centers in their body graph are open or undefined. That means they're very sensitive to others' energy, but their aura helps protect them in that it's sampling. They're going through life sampling all different things, all different energies, and they take that in and they understand it, and then they reflect it back to the community, back to society, whatever environment they're in. They're going to reflect the truth of the environment. If you are around a cranky reflector, there's something off in the environment. If you're around a reflector who's having a blast, everything in that environment is going super well. Like they're really here to reflect the environment that they're in. So those are the types. That was a very, very broad overview of all of them. I'm hoping that came across. I get very excited about design. I want to check our time because really the main thing about the type that you have is understanding your strategy. So your strategy is how you move through, how your aura interacts with the world. So for generators and manifesting generators, you have the enveloping aura and you're built to respond to life. That is your strategy. You respond to the life that your aura brings in. For projectors, we wait for the invitation so that our penetrating aura is accepted and we're absorbing energy that has recognized us and that will feel good in our system. Because when we don't wait for the recognition, we meet bitterness because that energy doesn't feel good, we're not recognized correctly. And so waiting for recognition and invitation is meant to help you maintain your own energy and your sensitive system. Really is a total game changer. And when you first see it, it may be like, oh, I've got to wait. Like, what if nothing comes to me? I've been taught to go out and get life. And now you're telling me to wait, but it's really wait, relax, do what you love, study what you love, trust in your unique energy to like for people to really recognize your genius, your specialty, what you're good at. Same with generators and manifesting generators, you're responding to life because you only have so much battery pack in your sacral that you wake up with every day. You don't want to be going out and pushing against the world and burning yourself out. And for manifestors, you inform and initiate, not for your sake. You can do what you want, but it's for the sake of people who might be in your way, that might get annoyed with you or bitter, that you give them an option of like, hey, I'm coming through. Do you want to get on board or do you need to move out of the way? You initiate things, you just start. And for reflectors, because you're open and because your aura is sampling, your strategy is to wait a lunar cycle for your guidance. And these are really strategies for bigger decisions in life. And again, they're things that you're already doing. You're already living your design. If you bring awareness to where this has shown up in your life, like projectors, where have you waited for recognition and invitation and found success? Where have you not and met bitterness? Same with generators and manifesting generators. When have you initiated in life and met resistance and met frustration versus when you waited to respond to life and you met satisfaction? Manifestors, where did you not inform somebody, even the tiniest thing of like, hey, mom, I'm running to the store, and meet anger and them being reactive to you, or wanted to initiate something and couldn't, and you met anger, versus when you did inform and initiate and you met peace. And these feelings I'm listing are your themes. So every type has a theme. And reflectors, it's when you feel rushed, it can be really disappointing, versus when you wait a month, those 28 days, to experience how you're going to feel in every sort of situation, because the moon is orbiting through all different energies that you get to experience. When you allow yourself to wait, you get surprised by life. And, you know, all of these themes of satisfaction, success, peace, and surprise are yours by right. Like, you are born to experience those based on your energetic blueprint. If you follow it, if you follow your strategy and then listen to your authority. This is a long slide. And this is more of what we would get into one-on-one as well. But there are several different authorities inside your being. That is a consistent, defined energy that's going to guide you to your highest alignment when you follow your strategy. Your authority is going to pipe up and say, oh, yes, respond to this. Or no, don't. Nope, we're not doing that. When you wait for the invitation comes in and your authority goes, no, I didn't feel that recognition. Or I got to talk it out, or I got to wait a little while. And really honoring that helps you come back to having your authority inside of your being, not needing to look outside of yourself for guidance, not getting wrapped up in your mind or fears or any conditioning outside of you. And so there are several different types of authority. This is when we get finer tuned. But when you know your authority, it really helps you align with yourself. I'm splenic authority. That means I'm moment to moment. And having that information now granted me permission to embrace how spontaneous I am, how spontaneous I've always been, how instinctive and intuitive I am. I always thought, like, oh no, people say they're intuitive all the time. I don't know about me. And then I'm like, it's literally my guide through life. For emotional authorities, these are people who need more time to make decisions because they have to feel it out. And it takes time to feel and find clarity from feelings. Sacral authorities, which are generator types, manifesting generators. With sacral authority, you're going to know if you have energy by your sacral going, or your sacral going, I'm tired. Splenic authorities, it's intuition and instinct. It's a little tough to hear it, but once you get attuned to it, you can't unhear it. It's telling you we're safe or we're not safe. And then ego authorities, which are heart-led people, are guided by their will, their wants, desires. It's like, I want it, I got it. It's the Ariana Grande song. Self-projected authorities are people that need to speak about their decisions, speak it out so that they can allow themselves to hear what's on their heart, hear their soul, let that out of them. And then reflectors and mental projectors have no inner authority, which some of the language in human design is really like crappy. But for me, my interpretation of this is you need to really feel it out in your environment. You're sensitive to your environment. You need to wait a little bit longer before making those big decisions so that you fully understand all of the different possibilities and then finding what is correct for you. So why does it matter, right? Like, this is all great. It's a lot of great information. It can definitely serve you. But what we have coming up is the Great Mutation. Sounds insane, right? Sounds a little, whew. So these are my interpretation. Really only take what serves you for your highest good. And I want to invite you to take a breath. So the Great Mutation is what is coming up in 2027. And it really is what we're starting to experience and have been experiencing for the last few years of this underlying global frequency that's been all about the agreement, how to survive together, really becoming one as a collective, as a tribe across humanity is starting to really break down and change because this underlying frequency is about to go. We are about to transit out of this frequency of the cross of planning, which came about around the time of the Industrial Revolution. And we're about to go into this more individually focused cross of the sleeping phoenix. And this is signifying the evolution of our emotional awareness. And it's what is driving us to become more radical, and mutative is the word that, human design really uses a lot. And it's the evolution of ourselves into this emotional awareness and focusing on empowering ourselves individually. We are becoming more individualistic day by day. And once that frequency of tribal connection, I keep forgetting the word of it, but tribal connection is really going to, we've never lived without it. Really comprehending how influential this underlying frequency is, and focusing on the survival of humanity as a whole has been since the Industrial Revolution is about to completely change. And we're watching it before our very eyes. It's going to be subtle. It's going to be year by year. It's going to become more and more apparent. And so I want to bring everybody's awareness to what is happening around the globe. Like we've been experiencing it like, whoa, for the last couple of years, and it's going to get more apparent. And then in 2027, that frequency is going to completely change. We're going to go through that transit. So really understanding yourself as an individual, empowering yourself as an individual is going to be essential after the great mutation of 2027. What we'll have to rely on about ourselves is going to be our strategy and authority, understanding our aura type, understanding what energy we carry about ourselves, understanding who we can, like, who we feel good being with, who are the people who carry the tribal frequencies that will help us make the agreements that we need to survive as humanity. Some people carry that and some don't. Some are very individualistic. Some are very collectively minded and reflective. And some are very much like planners and the people who are going to be helpful as we mutate as a whole of humanity. All this to say, what do you get out of it, right? Let's take it back to the individual, because this is what it's all about as we head for the great mutation. As this frequency starts to weaken over the next 7 years, I guess it's 5 now. It's almost 2022. So understanding your design and how you connect with others really is going to help you have this new awareness and acceptance of yourself. Deeper empathy, curiosity for others, lower mental chatter, that anxiety of like, oh, well, I think. Well, thinking is not typically going to be helpful in actually guiding you down your correct path in life to feel good. That resides in your body. That's your mental, that's your body's authority is going to be your guide. And so awareness of why you're attracted to certain people, places, things, how you interact with the world. It can also help you easily integrate with your family. It can be used in parenting, business, relationships. That's how I use it. It's literally human design. Any place a human is, human design will help. You can experience less frustration, anger, disappointment, bitterness, or at least know what it means when you're feeling that so that you can pivot. And also helping you make more aligned decisions, which leads to more peace, more ease, more success, more satisfaction, and enjoyment of the ride we call life. Like, it's meant to be fun. It can be fun. It can be enjoyable. And so there are opportunities for you to dive deeper. And these are what I offer at the moment. So you can get a one-on-one chart reading with me where we dive deep into your design, into your specifics, into understanding who you are. And with that comes the 20-page PDF of your design details and the recording, which you get to keep forever. That's $297. And then Jamie and I are in cahoots in designing a Human Design Foundations course, which is going to be 6 weeks, 1 hour Saturday morning meetings. That price and time is still being determined. So please DM us to join the wait list for more information on that. And then I am beta testing and taking on 2 more people for the Reclaim Your Radiance 8-week deconditioning journey led by me, one-on-one, small container, like my eyes, my aura, my guidance on you, helping you to really align with yourself, with weekly Reiki, chart readings, group coaching, and webinars. So if you're interested in any of that, please reach out to me. This is some of my contact information. You can reach me at Radiant Aura on Instagram, Radiant Aura Coaching at Gmail, and radiantauracoaching.com. And again, I promised you that you can look up all of this information that I just shared with you in more detail. You can either come to me for that and we can work together, or you can look it up for free on jovianarchive.com. That's how you pull your chart. All you need are your birth details, which is your time, place, and date. And that's accessible to everybody, no matter who you are. If you have and if you need help finding your birth time, reach out. I can help you. I have a website for that. So, yeah. That is my bit about human design. Ended at 2:22.
Hi, it's actually me and Goldie listening. Okay, this was so great. And it's really, I can already feel people just understanding like, what is this? What did I just hear? What am I? That's the number one question, right? Well, what am I? What
How
am I?
does this impact you? Like, what does it mean? And it's a lot of information. So again, everybody take a deep breath. There's no quiz. You're living your design.
Right.
If you want more information, if you are curious, if you think this is helpful for you, if you feel called, I'm here.
Right. And so I wanted to give some personal, we could do kind of like a little Q&A answering, even though there's really no questions. And just so people know, sorry, we didn't let people come onto this live. We had to record this because Laura had amazing weekend plans. So we got this record for you already, but we can just go over a few of the questions you get all the time. And also like the personal, the ways in which I use this, even for my business. So some of you know, and those that are in my mastermind and those that know my business design is that I actually have Laura read everyone's chart coming into my mastermind. That's how important I think this system is for people to understand how they operate, who they are, how they work, where to make answers from, where to make choices in your life from. This is huge. So I invest funds from what I receive from people into this. And then Laura, another beautiful circle around on it, she lets me know who I'm attracting into my programs, which helps me design my work for them better. I mean, it just keeps going on how brilliant this work is.
It's essential. And it's changed my, like, so I've been working with you since last May. And me learning about myself and being able to share that with you in building my business
right
has been critical. And endless gratitude for you being game to test this out and experiment with it as well. And what's fantastic is we both see the proof of it works.
Yes. And I really like the part that you talked about too, where it's like, okay, we all have access to all the energy, like what you were saying about that. I think it's really helpful to like, we need to learn about each other. This is a learning experience and how to function with the rest of humanity on the planet. Like you get to the point where you can start, people will start calling out now. I'm like, oh, she's definitely a projector. You know what I mean? Or like straight up generator, 100%, like nothing else. Like you'll start to kind of understand it. And then we can give each other grace.
Yep.
Why are we forcing projectors to act like generators when they're not?
Yep.
Why are we forcing reflectors to not take their time and give answers right away? And you know what I mean? So this, I feel like this is a system of grace for each other.
Yes. Deep compassion and empathy and understanding, like that emotional awareness. It's all an awareness game for me. In my perspective is like, how can I become more aware of who's feeling what, how they're processing it? How can I make this better for everyone? It's an optimization tool. And who doesn't want that? Like, who doesn't want to feel, be, function better?
And optimizing every area of your life. It's not just personal, emotional. I mean, I work with the people that I have in the mastermind, and what we do, it's like, what job should you be in? How should you be operating your business? This is huge for, I think, entrepreneurs to know, but even like for projectors to know, like they'd be way better in a managerial overseeing job than they ever would being on the sales floor, folding underwear, do it, you know what I mean? Like, no, projectors should be like in charge, floating around, moving and shifting energy. And I mean, I'm not a professional at this. This is just like what I've learned from you over the years. And I think I'm right when saying that, right? Like it helps you figure out what and how you can be working with the world.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not a doer. That's the biggest freedom. That was just so freeing. The moment I was like, wait, for a second there, I was like, but I want to be like everybody else. And then I was like, wait, I'm not like everybody else.
Right.
I'm not a doer. I'm a seer. Hi, Goldie.
I just called her Lucy. Good God, that's my dog. She's laying down there. Goldie, not Lucy, is laughing and totally agreeing with you. Huh? And then everyone, guess what? Then you're gonna want to get your mate read, your spouse, your kids, everyone, and then you're gonna be like, what are they? What are they? What are they?
I watch TV and I'm like, oh, I bet they're that. Oh, I bet they're that. That's how I learn, though, is I watch other people. And that's why I got a degree in psychology, too. And then it all beautifully intertwined with human design. And I can't get enough.
So people with get your chart read by her if you want that 2 hour in-depth one. I do it often with her. I have all of the PDFs saved to a folder. I have all the calls saved to a folder on my desktop. But also I was wondering if you could go a little bit more in depth about our Saturday. What are the themes that we'll go deeper into? I'm gonna go set her down.
We'll have a different theme about the foundations of human design. So I talked a little bit about what each type aura type is, the generators, projectors, manifestors. We'll go into more depth about that for an entire hour in 1 week. And then strategy, and then authority, and then profile. I mentioned that I was a 4-6, Jamie is a 5-1, Goldie is a 6-2. We all have different number combinations that even finer detail of who we are and what we share with a lot of people, so that you can grow that empathy, grow that curiosity, grow that understanding and awareness week by week as we dive deeper.
I am so excited for that. And I think what a perfect time. It's in the Northern Hemisphere. We're heading towards fall. It's like the school season, learning, coming back online, getting a little darker, wanting to do things inside. I think this will be a great time to step into this. So I'm excited to see who joins us. Again, message her or I. Please go find Laura everywhere. And yeah, is there anything else you want to add? Any other questions you get asked a lot? I know.
I get asked so many questions. I'm always just curious about who's watching. How do you want this to help you? And I always like to pose the question of what does your signature theme of your type? So what does it mean to you? If you're a child, what does satisfaction mean to you? If you're a projector, what does success mean to you?
Yeah.
And so on, with peace for manifestors and surprise for reflectors.
I remember when I started learning that from you, understanding my sacral authority and realizing every decision, it just goes off anyway. It's going off and it's doing its thing. And now that I'm aware of it, I'm completely, it's so quick. It happens so fast to know that in my body, I'm already getting a yes or a no for something. And then not going back and forth in my head, I'm not thinking that this is some external force doing it to me. This is my design. This is the way I'm communicating with my body, my spirit, all of these other things. It's so powerful. I've wasted a lot less time on decision making and actioning forward. And as a generator, I'm here to respond to the needs of the people. My work is designed around responding to the needs of the people.
Yeah.
Another need I need to go figure out is my crying baby in the other room. So this has been amazing. I can't wait for everyone to watch this and reach out to you. I can't wait to see who wants sessions with you now and who wants to be in the 6-week thing with us. Human design and coffee in the mornings.
It'd be amazing. Thank you so much for listening, for having me here. It was great to share one of my absolute favorite things.
Awesome. We love you so much, Laura, and thank you so much for chatting with us. And I'll just hit stop and we can figure it out from here on out. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Love you so much. Bye.